y'all, this is Mary with True Leather Girl, and I'm here to finally announce a new design, my St. Rita. So when I was researching for these earrings, I was trying to think of all of the different things that I knew about St. Rita. Usually we associate her with difficulty in marriage, the death of a spouse, the death of children, all the difficulties that she went through in her life, staying true to the faith despite all of those difficulties, and then the time that she spent in the convent after the death of her husband. But I came across a story that I'd not heard before, actually two stories about white bees, and I was immediately drawn and thought that would be the coolest earring design for St. Rita. So the day after her baptism, it said that there were white bees flying in and out of her mouth, not harming her. And that was kind of like a sign of the grace that she'd received at baptism and that God was specifically with her. So white bees have been tied to her since she was a baby. But then, hundreds of years after she died, the convent where she was staying at the end of her life had another miracle that's been happening yearly. I believe it's still occurring, where these white bees would come and live in the walls of the convent from Holy Week, which changes every year, and then they would leave on the Feast of St. Rita, which is May 22nd. So they would stay specifically from Holy Week, different day every year, until the Feast of St. Rita, and it would just be a yearly occurrence. There was no explanation. It was just a miracle that was tied to her. So that was the first part I knew from the beginning a year ago. That's what I wanted to do. So I got these beautiful clay bees of Color and Clay, which I'll link below. She's the designer she makes clay earrings, and she made clay roses from Crown of Thorns to Roses design that I released last year. I believe it was last Lent. It might have been 2 Lents ago. I don't remember at this point. But anyways, she did the roses on that design as well. And when she sent them to me, I just painted the black stripes, and here we are. Beautiful white clay bees. So definitely go check out what she's got. The rest of the design I really struggled with because I didn't want to just do the bees. You know, my thing is leather, so I wanted to add my own piece as I usually do. And I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I thought about, again, all of the different things that we usually associate with her. But then finally what stuck with me was the single stigmata wound that she has, that she had on her forehead from the Crown of Thorns. And I do have a devotion to the Crown of Thorns, so that specifically stuck out to me. And then I was looking through, again, researching, looking through artwork, all of the different things that I could possibly do to find some inspiration to finish off this design. And finally, I saw 2 different paintings, which again, I'll try to link below if I can find the artists, or at least where I found them linked. But they're an image of St. Rita kneeling before a crucifix, and there's a ray of light from the head of Christ to that wound on St. Rita's forehead. And so this leather gold ray design, I designed this piece after that ray of light that was coming from the head of Christ to the head of St. Rita. So that's it. Again, white bees for the 2 miracles associated with St. Rita around white bees, the one after her baptism, and then the one after her death, and then the ray of light or grace coming from the head of Christ to the head of St. Rita. So one other thing I want to mention about this pair that's a little bit different this time is we're still getting our laser up and running, and it's really close. I'm super excited because I will finally be able to be restocking things and doing all of the wonderful work that I usually do after it's again been about a year since our laser has been down. But I really wanted to get these out. So once I had designed them, I tried to cut them on my Cricut, but I found that the leather, when it's painted front and back, like I usually do on my earrings, slips around on the Cricut mat. So I couldn't cut them with my Cricut. So this is the only earring design that I currently have that has been hand cut. They came out pretty well. They are all a little bit slightly different, but I'm going to make sure every pair They are both as similar as can be so that they don't look too hand cut. But I'm pretty proud of them. They turned out really nice. They're edge painted like a lot of my designs. There you go. That's about all I have to say. I can't wait to bring more Catholic leather earring designs and other projects to you. If you can tell, I am pregnant with number 3, so it's going to be slow, but we are back in business and we are moving along. So stay tuned. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Also, I am focusing more on my email list, so if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my email list, that would be another great place to stay up to date with all of the True Leather Girl things going on. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.